Good afternoon everyone, it's Dee here. Today is the 9th of August and the time here in the UK is 20 to 4. What's happening this week in our heavens? So we continue our march from Leo to Virgo this week with the Sun and Venus joining Mars, which has already moved over. And so we can see the big grandiose expressions and words that have gone on for Leo being transformed into practical reality with that move into Virgo. So it's now time to put your money where your mouth is and starting to get on and make some of these things manifest and seeing if they fly as well, because I think the thing about Virgo energy is it can analyse things incredibly well. So it's about making the most of that to be able to sort of sift the wheat from the chaff with some of the things that maybe you were thinking about doing, plans you were going to be making. And it's let's see if these can actually work in reality. So like I say, at the beginning of the week, you have got the Sun, I beg your pardon, Mars having moved into Virgo on Sunday, and then that is followed by Venus on Wednesday, and then the Sun on Friday. Mercury for the moment is still in Leo, so, you know, we're still talking the talk, and we'll move on to talking about the trine aspect between Mercury and Jupiter, which happens on Wednesday this week. So there is still room for expanding your thoughts into big areas and to thinking outside the box and being a bit more sort of dramatic with how you talk and how you express yourself. But with Mars and with Venus, it's about, say, finding what works, refining things. Venus in Virgo is very much about refinement, and it pares things down. If you've got anybody in your life who has Venus in Virgo, you find that the way that they dress and the style that they have can be very simplistic. You know, simple colours, simple styles. It's not about the big flashbang that you get with, say, something like Venus in Leo. It's much more pared down than that. But I think that this week is a good opportunity to clear out, clean out, make plans, make strategies. Where do you want to be? What can work for me this week? For example, if you've got your Virgo house is the 4th house, you know, it could be a good time to sort your house out, do a bit of decorating. Maybe get a few quotes in to see what can be done around the place. If you've got it in your first, it might be time to give yourself an overhaul. Look at your outward expressions, so your clothes and your style and those kind of things. If you've got it in the 6th, it might be time to sort of look at your health. I mean, Virgo rules health anyway. 6th house is obviously Virgo's house. So if you've been a little bit excessive while the Sun's been in Leo, you know, now might be the time to think about, well, what sort of diet can I have to improve my health? What kind of things can I get rid of in my life to make me feel better and more healthy? If, for example, you have got, Virgo as your 6th house, then you could be looking at maybe giving things up. So if you've got some bad habits, you might decide that you want to give those up and to move forward to a better way of doing things. So as I said, on Wednesday we've got the final big sort of expression of Leo with Mercury being trine to Jupiter, and this kind of shines out the good news week, if you like. So you might, if you've been waiting on things, obviously Jupiter's been retrograde and is now sort of picking up speed again and is joining Mercury. It could be anything news that you were looking for that could bring some good things into your life, you know, like maybe a contract being signed, or if you've been waiting on some money to come in, then it could be that you find that this week is the week that those things start to come through for you. But it's just a very positive feel anyway. It's kind of good thoughts and being able to express yourself in a positive way. I think this is a good aspect for teaching and teaching others and bringing wisdom and wise thoughts to people. So, you know, if you have the opportunity to share your thoughts and ideas with others, it could be, you know, a good time to sort of get, you know, find that good response in your audience. You know, it's a time to sort of say it loud and say it proud, and show off your wisdom and your ability and skill in a particular area, and to help other people with that kind of expression. So if you're still at the grand planning stage, you know, Wednesday would be the day to be airing those thoughts, and then you can kind of iron everything out as things move on into Virgo, and you can get to sort of critically analyse things and to be able to think things through a little more carefully. So yeah, get together with people, and later on in the week you've got the Venus-Mars conjunction in Virgo, so particularly if the things that you're thinking about have a sort of partnership element to them, again, this week could be a good week to do it, because, as I say, you can express them out loud on the Wednesday with the Mercury and Jupiter, and then when Venus and Mars come together over the weekend, that could be the time to sort of say, well, right, where we're heading, what do we like to do, and it could be bringing structure to a relationship. It could be I want this to be our routine now, or it could be, you know, let's plan for the future, let's put things together to see sort of where we're heading, where would we like to be in our relationship, in our partnership together. So when Venus and Mars come together in a conjunction, you know, obviously it's a literal pairing of male and female, but it's also that they can both benefit from each other. It's a very balanced perspective. Mars can bring a warmth and a vibrancy to Venus, and Venus can bring a beauty and a sort of a nice aesthetic to Mars, particularly in Virgo, which likes, say, that attention to detail. And say Venus, that Mars, you know, Virgo is an earth sign, so it's got quite a practical side to it. And if you know anybody who's got these aspects, they tend to be very good with the hands at making things. It's kind of that artisan kind of feel to it. So, you know, people who may be really good with wood, you know, making beautiful pieces of furniture or jewellery or fabrics. As you know, all earth signs are good at making things, but I think with the Virgo, it's that kind of attention to detail that you get that can make things that even more special than they would be. So yes, let me just flick back to my notes that I made for myself on here. What have I put down to say? Yeah, I think that the other idea that when you think about Virgo, most people think of Virgo as being perfectionist, and they can be that way, certainly, but the thing is, it's like nobody's perfect, but you can be on the road to perfect. And that, to me, that's what the Virgo energy is more about, because it is mutable, it's not fixed, it doesn't say this is perfect and we can't go any further. It's like we're working towards perfect. You know, where can the improvements be made? Where can we be better? So they're always looking for that next thing, that next improvement that can be made. And it's one of the things I do like about Virgo, and I have Mars in Virgo myself. It's about the, you know, never standing still with things. There's always something that you can work on. There's something that you could be better at. And that's what keeps you going, you know. And it's, to me, the idea that, well, just because something's not perfect doesn't mean to say that it's not worth doing. It's the idea that, well, this is where I'm starting from and this is where I want to be, and I'm going to work my way towards that. And as I go along, I might be raising that bar a little bit further and a little bit further. So there's always a goal to be reached with Virgo. It never stands still. It'll always find a better way of doing things, which can be, some people can find that quite hard to accept, because, you know, if you're one of the sort of more fixed signs, then, you know, you like to sort of stay where you are. I mean, Leo will tell you that they're wonderful anyway, so they don't need to change anything. Taurus is too lazy to make the effort to change anymore. Scorpio just goes, oh, it's a bit scary out there, I'm staying in here, I'm not going to deal with that kind of stuff. And Aquarius is anything that's new is you know, there's always an invention to be made, but I'm going to do it in my way, because my strange way of doing things is the best way to do things. So yes, so if you've got more sort of fixed energies in your chart, you might find that kind of Virgo striving for change and for perfection a little bit irritating or annoying. A lot of people say they'll have a real downer on Virgo because it can be critical, but to me, so say maybe because I have Venus in Virgo, Mars in Virgo, is the fact that what's wrong with wanting to be better? What's wrong with, you know, wanting to strive for being a better person, doing things in a better way? And it's also the idea for me that as a person, your journey through your life, you are constantly trying to strive for improvement in what you are and what you represent and what you can do. So yeah, I put on here, clear out your life, get rid of anything that you don't need. Obviously, as the seasons are changing, I've been doing this myself. You know, you can sort of see the move now from sort of late summer into autumn. The kids are going to be going back to school in a couple of weeks, so now is a really good time for a good clear out, and maybe sort of make some space for the new. My rule is that, you know, if you haven't touched it in 6 months, then you don't need it. So, you know, it might be time to take things out and to, you know, recycle things, and I say just paring things down a little bit. What, you know, let things be more efficient. What don't you need? You know, Leo will say that Leo energy wants all the grand and all the marvellous and the extravagant, and the rest of it, Virgo goes, no, we don't need that. We just need to have things that function, that work. So, you know, get rid of the frivolous, maybe go for the more practical options. But they can be beautiful practical options. They don't have to be boring practical options. It could also be a good time, you know, you've had your holidays now, to get back on that health kick again. You know, renovate, revigorate your exercise routines, maybe try something new in that area. You know, get back on that treadmill again, get back to the gym, find a new class to go to. So that's all very Virgo things to do. Yeah, what else have we got? So what have I got here? So yeah, let's say the idea of, say, Venus and Mars at the end of the week, the coming together, the planning together, the relationships, wanting more structure, those kinds of things. I say it's just time to move from that kind of big picture, big ideas, down to let's make this work now. So I'm being very efficient with my time today. My this is going to end up being quite short for me. So yeah, just look for ways in which you can be more efficient in your life, where you can make those improvements and work towards perfect. We'd say the never-ending battle towards perfect. And obviously, shout out loud in the middle of the week, look for those good news opportunities and opportunities to teach others and to bring other people your wisdom. So that's my take on things for this week. I say short and sweet. Hope you have a good one. Enjoy the last of the summer before we then move off into back to school territory. And yeah, have a good week, everyone.